Hello, my name is Kenrick H2O Sandy. From a creative point of view, my main focus is I'm a co-artistic director and main choreographer of a company called Boy Blue. We are based in Newham. We've been around since 2001, so next year is our 20-year anniversary. We mainly do street dance, hip hop, but we also do music as well. We work from community level all the way to professional level. We don't see it like this, we see it like this, it goes hand in hand. I myself started at Forest Gate Youth Centre, so I still do a lot of work in the youth centres, and I'll also do certain things such as at the Barbican, because we're associate artists at the Barbican as well. So for me, and for what I do is mainly with dance. I say to people there's a certain point where the movement and the music become one, and I go into what we would call the avatar state, where it's no longer about the flesh, it's no longer about the sound, it's about the spirit. And for me, listening to music sometimes, I'm in a different universe, I'm in a different space. It warps me, it sends me somewhere where sometimes I can't even hear what's around me. I don't care what's around me. You know what, I'd also get energy and inspiration from the barbershops. Barbershop is like your uncles, your external uncles giving you information and you're learning about life. So going to the barbershop, going to the corner shops and talking to the owners there, you get some level of inspiration of dealing with life skills. And just certain little wise words that they give you is very memorable and helps with inspiration. So, yeah. Over to you.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'd like to show you my garden. This is the creative project I've been working on over lockdown. So you can see there's a mini vegetable patch here with tomatoes and courgettes. To finish off the garden, I dug up and installed a wildlife pond here with a variety of aquatic plants and some pebbles around. Hope you like my mini garden. Now it's over to you.
This painting is about the issue of poverty and restrictions linked to poverty. It can feel as if you are trapped like a goldfish in its bowl. You can't afford that day trip away, that holiday, or make significant changes. I feel that the lockdown has forced people to live within tight limitations, and this in turn has forced people into a life similar to being on benefit, and indeed, some people have had to try hard to survive financially. On top of this, there was the social isolation, which compounded the problem. But many disabled people already live within restrictions and were already living in this limited scenario. It was not such a big change for them. But of course, the personal, social contact with people has been difficult for everyone, but more so if you live alone and are disabled without needing a carer.
It's not that I don't want you here. It's something about the way you stare into my eyes. I know that I don't make things clear. I fell for you every time I tried to resist you. We can get away, palm trees, beach view, ordinary day. I don't wanna hear is the visions of a place sitting right next to you.
I like to invite others to showcase what they have been doing in quarantine. Go submit a video, and it's
My name's Patrick Phipps. For those who know me, they know me as Cut Above the Rest or Uncle Pat. Yeah, I've opened Cut Above the Rest for about 30 years next year. It'll be my 30-year anniversary. So I've been in the same spot for 30 years. I know you from when your mum used to bring you to my shop to get your hair cut. Mm-hmm. I cut you. I cut your brothers and your children.
Cut my children's hair now. Yep.
So I've cut like 4 generations in this shop. I teach in East Newham College. I teach barbering in Newham College, and it's so rewarding because I could see the youth that's having problems. Like, I can see the youth that's having problems, and when I see the youth that's having problems, I can pull them to one side, pluck the diamonds out, clean them up, polish them up, put them in a nice ring, make sure the claws are really nice and tight, so it don't fall out, you don't lose the diamond, and you watch it flourish. So to get to the jewelry part, one day I woke up, I had a few dreams, and I rapped. This is my first rap that I've ever did. That's Shungite. This blocks all your EMF rays, all the rest of it, and it's protection stone. I started making things like this.
In the process of when you're cutting hair, when you're writing a book, when you're making jewelry, like how does it, what's the feeling?
When I make my jewelry, I zone. I literally zone. When I started making jewelry, I didn't sleep for 5 days. Because all I was doing was making jewelry. And as you're talking about your ancestors, my ancestors just gave me the ashe. They gave me that blessing. Before I even started getting into the jewelry, I started writing. And I wrote 4 books. One of them is not here because I sold out of it. But the first one was called My Little Book of Empowerment. And that was when I was at the lowest point in my life. So I took my pen, I took the paper, and everything that I was going through, I put it on paper. And what I did, I wrote a book called My Little Book of Empowerment. Each chapter is about what I went through and how I rebut it now. I wrote this book, Twisted Lanes. Yeah? Twisted Lanes. From there, people loved this book so much. It actually went into Pentonville prison, and the inmates was really talking about it. They loved it, and they even did a play on it. And then at the back of this book, it tells the inmates, it's a little bit about the inmates, what they thought about the book and stuff like that. Where I saw that it touched them so deeply, I had to rewrite it, Twisted Lanes for teenagers. This book is for teenagers, right? So when you look at this book, after each chapter, it's got a talking point where they can write in it. They ask you questions like, what would you do if your friend gave you money, gave you drugs to sell? What would you do if you had someone pull a knife on you? What would you do if you knew someone got hurt and you didn't tell the police? What would you do? And at the end of it, it's got my conclusion.
Your creativity has allowed you, through your emotions and through your well-being, to transcend in 3 different areas so far, even 4, 5, even more. You know what I mean? So much. So many. It's like there's a level of entrepreneurship that has ascended in a different way. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think it's very important that these stories are told, and they are expressed through your books, through your jewelry, through your healing. And even for me, just coming to the barbershop as a young man, stories that we used to sit down and hear, you know what I mean, of just life. I feel like from a creative point of view, a lot of my creativity comes from my surroundings. It comes from my community. It comes from my history, my ancestral history, my background, being a young black man in East London. And I use that energy into my work.
When I write, it just takes me away. You know, like if anybody's suffering from mental illness, depression, suicidal thoughts, write. Let the pen be your sword. Let the ink be your thoughts. And let the paper be your world. And just write. It will take you a lot of nonsense and you make a lot of sense out of nonsense.
We're still in a pandemic, so to speak, and the objective of what we've been doing is just try and keep an energy. We've been doing Zoom sessions, teaching class via Zoom, having regular meetings, talking about how we can keep on pushing stuff, connecting with the dancers, talking to them, training. We're doing like Zoom training, fitness training, just to make sure that we keep afloat of where we need to be physically, and just keeping our eyes and ears open just with regards to how we can get back into the studio, how we can do that. But we also have to take into account of people's well-being. This has been a traumatic time, so we have to think about the well-being and the social side of it. Are people comfortable to get back into studios? Are people comfortable to come out of their houses? So it is just looking at how, I think right now, how we can educate ourselves, how we can upskill ourselves, and how we can really look after our well-being.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, this interview. It's now time for you guys to get creative. It's now time for you guys to share your creativity and express. So let's leave it over to you. Let's see some stuff so that we can put it up and make sure that we can appreciate and give the gratitude and affirmation for all your work, your talent, your skills. So peace out, blessings, latest.